Howdy YouTube, and welcome to this episode of the Gunman. So this is the Gunman's top 8 primer gun review. It's a comprehensive and unbiased review based on objective facts about each gun. I've ranked each gun on the 4 following criteria: build quality, price, finish, and versatility. Build quality, price, and finish are all pretty self-explanatory, but for this video I did add an extra criteria, being versatility. So if a spray gun has multiple tip sizes and actually sprays colors well, clears well, base coats, primers, then it's going to get a higher score when it comes to versatility. So obviously, as you've noticed already on screen, we've got number 8, and that is the DeVilbiss PRI Pro Lite. The overall score isn't necessarily awesome. The price is a bit higher than what you'd want to pay for a primer gun. I wouldn't be paying this kind of money for a primer gun myself, and I wouldn't recommend most people going out and spending over $400 on a primer gun. There's lots of spray guns out there for half the price that will be able to do exactly the same job, but leave you with a couple of $100 change. So yes, it's an absolutely great gun, but it's a bit more than what I would recommend spending on a primer gun. So next up, we've got the A&I F160 Silver. So this gun here has replaced the A&I F150. The gun itself should spray absolutely identical, but I must say I do enjoy the silver design and the slightly upgraded look of the F160 Silver. Definitely a reasonable price. You can get them for around 170, 180 Australian dollars at the current exchange rates. Build quality is right up there. It did have to get marked down on build quality because of the pots. They're not absolutely terrible, but they are a bit of a pain. So they're just not the best build quality on the pots. The gun itself I can barely fault as far as build quality goes, especially for the price. So the finish, you can get really good quality finishes. It can absolutely hold its own up against the top guns. Versatility, it did get marked down for because you do have options for different tip sizes, but you have to get an air cap, and I'm not sure how readily available the fluid tips and air caps are to buy separately. For all the other guns in this review, I'm using 1.8mm, but for this gun here I've got it in 1.9 because it doesn't actually come in 1.8mm. So next up, coming in at number 6, is the DeVilbiss SLG, or starting line gun, 610. So you won't beat this as far as price goes on this list anyway. Build quality isn't quite up there with any of the other guns though. It's just, you just kind of get this feeling that you're not holding a great gun in your hand. It's something that I would be surprised to see last a couple of years, getting daily workshop use with 2-pack primer. However, I would say that if you're just someone that uses it at home, you take care of your tools and equipment, you're only going to use it, 2 or 3 times a year, it could be a good option for you, and you're going to save yourself a little bit of money. I was actually quite surprised at how well this thing sprayed primer, and again, for every single primer that you see me spraying in this video, I'm using quite low pressures, and I'm talking 12 to 15 psi, really low pressures. That allows me to get a nice amount of material on. I'm not getting overspray all through the workshop or even through the spray booth and all that when I am spraying in the spray booth. So yeah, most primer guns I found you are able to use quite low pressures. As far as versatility goes, it did get just 2 out of 5 because I have actually reviewed this gun for base coat and clear coat, and it's not the best gun for base and clear. However, there are other tip sizes available. In at number 5 is the STATjet 100B FRP. So yes, it's a quite expensive gun for primer. You're looking at around 450 Australian dollars at the moment. Build quality, you will get no better than this. It can deliver an absolutely amazing finish, so it's got to get 5 out of 5 for both of those two, build quality and finish. Versatility, it got 3 because I've heard some people, and I mean not just 1 or 2 people, lots of people telling me that this gun is an absolute beast for spraying sealer with, so wet on wet primers. And I would be very, very surprised if any of those people were wrong. And honestly, and look, it got a 3 out of 5 for versatility, but it could probably even get bumped up to 4 because I could nearly even see myself spraying base and clear through this thing with a 1.4mm on it, but it does only go down to 1.4 as far as I'm aware anyway. Like on the websites that I look at, that's the smallest tip size. I would actually like to see STATA release this gun in some smaller tip sizes to tackle that mid-range spray gun market. market, but you're still actually getting a quality STATjet gun. So taking out 4th position on my top 8 primer guns is no stranger to this channel, and that is the Iwata Airgunsa AZ3. I give it a 15 out of 20 overall score. Price is great, so it gets a 4 out of 5. It's one of the cheaper guns on this list, but this thing is an absolute beast. It is built extremely well, and they can cop an absolute hiding. We've got one as the workshop primer gun at work, and they just last forever. It does exactly what you need for a workshop primer gun. It's not going to be the best primer gun you've ever used. The fan is a little bit small, but for daily prime ups, like exactly what you see me spraying here on the screen now, it is all you need. You may struggle a little bit on full resprays, but you've always got the option of just holding the gun back a little bit because it does have that smaller fan. This gun does actually have many fluid tip sizes to choose from, but it didn't get massive score when it comes to versatility because I have heard it's not great for spraying base coat and clear coat through, and that's mainly because of the small fan. So if it had been, had a slightly bigger fan, it probably would have got a larger score. It actually goes right up to 3 mil. So I do recommend going and checking out the web page that I built for this review. It goes through all of those details on every single gun. So coming in at 3rd position is the Iwata W400 Bellaria. I'm just as surprised as you guys are to see this in at 3rd position, but I really did approach this review objectively. I took all the feelings out of it. Don't care if you love your DeVilbisses, SATas or Iwatas. I just ranked them all on their merits, and that's what this one got. It got 16 out of 20. It did definitely get a low score when it comes to price, but everything else is just 5 out of 5. So build quality, you won't beat it. You won't get any better. It's right up there with your STATjets. Finish, it gets a brilliant finish. It's got an absolutely massive fan on it, and versatility gets 5 out of 5. This gun goes right up to 2.5 mil, and you can get it down to 1.0 mil as well. So it really could be that one gun that someone wants to buy, a DIY guy for instance. They can just say, I want one gun, I'm going to get a few different fluid tips for it. It's going to do me base coat, clear coat, and it's going to do them really well as well. So it's not just about having those tip sizes, it's about actually spraying those materials very good as well. But yeah, it just did get let down on price. But if you don't mind spending a little bit extra money, well then go for it. So taking out 2nd spot is also no stranger to this channel. That is the DeVilbiss GPI. I've recommended this gun to many people, and I'm yet to hear anyone say that they regret the purchase. You can get this gun for around 320 Australian dollars, so it's not the cheapest, but it's definitely not overpriced. You do get a very good quality gun, a gun that's going to last for quite some time. Again, you've still got to look after any gun that you have. Finish quality, you can't beat it. It's got a massive fan on it, it gets a nice amount of material on, and versatility gets 4 out of 5. You can go from 1.4, 1.6 and 1.8 mil fluid tips. So the 1.4 does spray base coat, direct gloss and clear coat really well. 1.8 sprays the primers perfectly. 1.6 I actually found was quite good for acrylic lacquers, acrylic clears and those kind of things. So yes, I don't use that very often, but I did do a acrylic spray demo once, and I found that the 1.6 was ideal for the acrylic paints. And finally, the number one you've all been waiting for is That's right folks, taking out number one on my top 8 primer gun review is the DeVilbiss FLG5, also branded in some parts of the world as the SGK. This gun has been built to precision standards and it's an absolute beast. It's something that you can throw around, you can really treat it badly and it's just gonna work day in, day out. Build quality gets 5 out of 5. It's not going to break the bank. You can currently get them for around the $200 Australian mark. And I will actually have to take a little bit of the credit for bumping the prices up on these things. Ever since I did such good reviews on them, the prices did start rising here in Australia anyway. But Spray Guns Direct, who did sponsor this video, have kept their prices relatively low and they will be cheaper than what you can get them for here in Australia. They've came up to around $230 is the cheapest I can find them in Australia, but you can still get them for around or under $200 from Spray Guns Direct. So the finish quality is superb. It's got a massive fan. It's versatile. You can get it in the 1.4 or 1.8, and it sprays base coat and clear coats and direct gloss 2K colors absolutely perfectly. Be sure to go over and check out that webpage I created for this top 8 primer gun review. You do actually have the opportunity to win one of these guns. There's going to be 3 given away thanks to Spray Guns Direct. You will be able to choose whichever gun you like out of the 8 in this video. All you have to do is go and leave a comment on the webpage that I created and you'll be in the running. I'll be drawing the winners within the next week. Stay tuned for that video. Till next time, get out there and paint some shit. Gunman out.